Morning. So, the dating stuff has kind of dried up and gotten really quiet. And I thought, man, maybe that's because I was traveling for a couple weeks and, you know, wasn't engaged, right? And then I came across this video last night on TikTok. It's from a therapist. I believe her name is Lisa Kay. She has pink hair. She's brilliant. And she was talking about a patient of hers who had gone on a bunch of dates and just kept getting ghosted constantly. And so she came to her therapist and was like, what am I doing wrong? And the therapist was like, congratulations, you're doing everything right. And basically, like, don't change anything. Because what's happening is that these ghosting guys are ghosting guys. Like, that's what they're going to do regardless of who you are or how you perform on a date. That's just who they are. And she really focused on how, like, ghosting is dehumanizing. And so it has nothing to do with us. It's the guy. He has no like empathy or humanity if he can't just say like, you know what, we're not a good match, right? Like that's the adult mature thing to do. I do it. So, you know, that's the dehumanizing piece and the fact that these just aren't good guys, right? But the other point that she made is that they're probably ghosting because they are realizing very quickly that we can't be manipulated. And so that's a good thing. So whatever it is we're doing, right, whether it's on a date or in conversation that's potentially leading up to a date, and, you know, they're love bombing initially and putting it all in there and like pretending to have this online relationship with you. When they dip out, it's because they've discovered that you can't be manipulated and they're looking for women they can manipulate. They want like a robot wife, a robot girlfriend, and they can get that in the phone. And so some of them, I think, just don't even go on a date because they realize like you're real and they have to engage with a real version of you. And the thing is, like, they've already picked up on the fact that you're your own person. You've got your own strengths and your independence and all these great things. And like, one, maybe they realize they have nothing to add to that. I don't know. That goes back to the theory that I was talking about how they think they can't add value. And so therefore they're intimidated. But I really like this theory about manipulation, especially coming off of, you know, a relationship with a narcissist, because I knew it, like, I knew when I got ghosted, I hadn't done anything wrong. Like, I was very resolute in that. I knew that was a him issue, and I knew it wasn't about me. And the ghosting happened before I knew he was a narcissist. So now when I look back on it, I think he also was realizing that, like, oh my God, like, as much as I'm into this chick and I love this chick and I can't stop going back to her, I can't manipulate her. Therefore, I can't be a victim with her. I can't do the things where I feel bad about myself all the time. And I wish and I like to complain about all the things I wish I had and comparing myself to what everybody else has and just doing this victim thing of like, I can't catch a break and I can't get any of the good things in life and I can't get a good woman and I can't have this and I can't have that. And it's like, yeah, you actually could. And, you know, for a while there, you were behaving in a way that merited it. But then realized, like, oh, I actually can't control this girl. I can't manipulate her. And that's like my jam, right? And so that's when he started like going into other like apps and places and trying to find someone he could manipulate. Now he's like literally out in the real dating app world where the rest of us are, claiming to be a victim. I mean, his own app is like, I'm a good guy with a good heart who only attracts women who are trying to take advantage of him. Like, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, the only women that will respond to that are going to be women that can be manipulated. So that's what he's looking for. And that's what they're all looking for. And I'm sure, you know, there's some great guy out there, maybe for me, maybe for somebody else, but like, that's the point. It has to be a great guy. You can't settle for these guys. You can't lose any sleep over their ghosting or whatever their weird behaviors are, because they're already conceding defeat when they do that. They realize they can't manipulate you and they can't use you and they can't fool you. And the only kind of guy, a woman like me or anyone like, you know, that wants or should hold out for is someone who's not looking to do that, is someone who is actually looking to bring their A game and enhance and add to the equation and not try to dominate, control, manipulate, use, take down, right? So that's where I always take exception when people ask the question, like, why are you still single? As though it's a me problem. And it's not. You know why I'm still single? Because I can't be manipulated, right? And I can't like be convinced to set my expectations lower. And, you know, sometimes I get it in my head that it's like, oh, well, maybe I can't compromise. Like, well, compromise isn't about lowering your standards. Compromise is about like, I don't know, how you want to do the chores in the house, or whose activity we're going to do on Sunday afternoon, whose family we're going to see for which holiday. That's compromise. Compromise isn't, okay, I'll take it down a notch and I'll date a dude that like is unreliable or inconsistent or, you know, is maybe cheating on me, but I'll you know, that good enough, right? Good enough. It's not good enough. And so this is a whole interesting way of thinking about it that like really kind of refreshed my thinking today. And it's like, well, yeah, the reason that these guys were coming like left and right like a month or so ago and just like one after another is because I had just newly engaged in the dating apps after years of not being in them, right? So I was fresh meat. They'd already gone through all the gals, right? And hadn't found anyone. So here I am, I'm fresh, right? And so I was getting hits from everybody non-stop. And as soon as like one ghosted, another one was on the roster, another one, and then he ghosted, another one comes in, right? And so I think what's happening now is, you know, I've been on there for like a month or so and I've cycled through it, right? All the guys that were gonna come for me have come and gone because they've realized that like I'm not your girl, buddy. I have accountability, expectations, and I realize that compromise is just about like what we're having for dinner tonight, not I got to lower my standards. So it's interesting. It's I hope this is helpful to people. I think it's a really great perspective, and that like if you're being ghosted or somebody's not asking you on a second date, like that's not a you thing. That's because they've realized that you're too good for them and they can't do to you what they want to do. And that is something that you should celebrate and be really proud of, especially if it's a narcissist who shut you down, right? Like what happened with me. That's a win. That's a huge win, right? Huge. So celebrate the wins today. Accept that you are not someone who can be manipulated, and that you being single is not because there's something wrong with you. It's the complete opposite, and you are scaring the bejesus out of these dudes, and that's what you need to keep doing. And so strong women unite. We cannot be manipulated, and being single is not a disease. It is a win.